made the mistake of falling in love with a 40-year-old man at the tender age of 21. I want to tell that story. So when I met him, I was in college. I was a senior, and I had my head on so straight. But yeah, I met him, and my head completely turned around, fell upside down. It fell off my neck. My head was off my shoulders. I don't know how much of the story I'm actually going to tell on TikTok in this one video, because I can honestly spread it out into a million different videos, because it lasted for about 3 years of my life. And it really put me in a very fast downward spiral, and I became a terrible version of myself, and I hated myself, and I was unhappy, I was miserable, I was overweight, I was depressed, I was seeking attention from men, I was promiscuous, and I lost my morals. Y'all, it's a lot. It's a lot. Like, I literally fell apart. I literally feel like a phoenix that rose from the ashes, because that relationship brought me to my lowest points ever. That the person that I am now is simply from those ashes. Like, I was reborn. But I met him, and where do I want to start? I want to start from the very beginning, like the timeline. I don't want to start from like the catalyst, like the moment that made me want to like change my life around. I'll give y'all a gist of the story, and then we can get into the deep parts, because I don't know. I didn't think this through, but. Okay, so essentially, I met this guy. He didn't want anything like commitment-wise, and for some reason, I thought that, you know, me being me, he's gonna fall in love with me, and I'm gonna completely change his mindset, and he's gonna say, I know I never wanted a relationship before then, but because I met this wonderful young woman, I'm going to completely change my mindset and want to be in a relationship with her, want to date to marry her. That's how I felt. I was so crazy, but he didn't want that. And I made the conscious decision to continue seeing him, even though he told me from early on that he didn't want anything serious. So I do take accountability in that aspect, because I basically knew what I was signing up for, kind of, but not really, because that's the thing. Like, I was 21, so I really didn't know what I was signing up for. I just had a lot of ignorance, because I'd never been in a situation like that. So I'm like, that's why I also go back to him. It goes back to him, because you're almost 40. He was like 35, 36 at this point. So he knew. He had been around the block more than a few times. So he already knew how that story went. I didn't know, but I still went with it. So throughout the whole thing, it was so many different women he was seeing. And then because he was seeing other women, I was like, forget it, I'm going to see other men too. And I had went down this whole mess of like heavily depending on men to validate myself. And I don't know how this happened, because my head was on so straight. I was in college, straight A's, 4.0. Like, I don't know. I was just like, I had so many goals, aspirations, just to turn out to be with a man who didn't want nothing for himself. And
he didn't want nothing with you. You know, and I know it upsets you. Here's a pretty black woman who tried her hand at dating an older man, and it backfired. It backfired. Now, I think the part that's funny was that he told her straight up. He didn't lie to her. He didn't sell her a dream. He told her straight up, I don't want anything serious. And she thought she was going to persuade him into a long-term relationship. He's going to fall in love with me. He gonna know. Man, the funny part about this is men over 40, we could date women that are in their 20s, right? This is a girl, she's 21. She said she was in college at the time, a senior in college. And she was madly in love with this man in her 40s. Okay? How many women will be 40 years old dating a 21-year-old man in college? I'll wait. Yeah, probably nothing. No one, right? Anyway, I think the interesting takeaway from here is that she thought her punani was so good it was going to make a man want to wife her. And this is where a lot of women fall short. Y'all think that what's between your legs is going to make a man cement and crumble to his knees. The only man that could possibly happen to is a weak man. Okay? And I'm convinced now that so many women want control in their relationships anyway, that they probably would prefer a weak man. A man who's actually masculine and tells the truth and just says, I don't want anything serious, and stands on his ground. You know, they don't know what to do with that. You know, their hopes is, all right, maybe I'll change them later on. Maybe I'll persuade them. But as you can see, that rarely works. Okay, let's see what else she has to say, and we'll respond to it.
And it's so bad because I have so much guidance. Like, this is like real life where you have to experience it for yourself to make that decision to understand life. Because I had so much guidance. Like, you would think the way I was acting very motherless and fatherless. And I have both parents. So it's like, what? It didn't make any sense. But okay, so he was up and down, talking to all these different people, seeing other people, whatever. This lasted for almost 3 years. So then finally towards the end of it, I'm still crazy. I'm still delusional. I went through the points of like, I want to change him. Okay, I'm just going to change myself. Maybe we can meet in the middle. Let's just be friends. Let's be in love. Like, every aspect, every variation of me being with him, I tried that and it never worked. But essentially towards the end, at one point, I ended up moving in with him. And we were just like heated conversations. Oh my God, I have to tell y'all the story. Let me know if y'all want to see this story. The day I lost my mind, the night I lost my mind and almost went to jail. Let me know if y'all want to hear that story. But okay, it was the time I almost lost my mind. Well, I did lose my mind, actually. I almost went to jail. And okay, so we was arguing really, really bad one day. And it was like the beginning of last year. Arguing really, really bad. And he was talking about, like, I'm talking about the sex ain't that good. Like, I'm talking about the sex ain't that good. And he was like, every bitch I fuck with is better than you. What? Every bitch you fuck with is what? Is who? That? No. But at that point, like, you know, when somebody say something to you, like, what the fuck, can't be true. But it like kind of resonate and sit with you. Like, in that moment, I'm like, yeah, this nigga just talking, whatever the fuck. But then afterwards, I'm like, it be truth in everything that somebody says, especially in a heated argument. Like, you really getting your real feelings off your chest. Because I was getting my real feelings off my chest. So I'm like, oh yeah, he really feel like this. So then when I sit and think about it, because I was so nosy, I learned all my lessons in this little relationship. Like, I would, like, you going through the phone, you looking for something, you gonna find it. So I found everything. Like, everyone he ever talked to, I seen it. And then myself, I want to know everything. So I'm on Instagram, I'm scrolling through the following, I'm going to find her page, I'm looking at what she look like I'm going through the message, like so I'm already knowing like what his type is. Cause like when you put them all in a line together, like they all look different, but it was like all similar. Like all these girls were skinny, itty bitty, and there was me. And at that point, I didn't realize how big I was. I just thought like, oh, I'm thick. Like I got thighs, hips, butt, titties. Like I think I'm just thick. But now, like being small, I look back like, no, you was just kind of big everywhere. But so I sat with him like, hold on, like mind y'all, we worked together. So like he worked right across from me. So when we was good, we saw each other every day. When we weren't good, we saw each other every day. So when we finally like ended, I was like, I have to shit on this nigga. Like, bitch is better than me. So I started thinking to myself, like, what does the baddest bitch look like? Like, who is the baddest bitch? Like, what attributes, what characteristics does she have? And I feel like a bad bitch take care of herself. Like, a bad bitch looks good. A bad bitch is confident. She look good naked. Like, she's just sexy. She got sex appeal. She's confident in herself. She don't seek validation from nobody. And, like, she's beautiful naturally. Like, because at that point, I was also battling with the fact, like, I was heavily into, like, weaves, lashes, nails, like, showing off stuff. I was really into stuff like that. So I'm like, Jamisha, who are you deeper than that? Like, beyond all the...
All right, she's going through some kind of spiritual revelation. Okay, I get it. But here's a couple takeaways I thought was very interesting. One, she said she tried every relationship with him. Or attempted every different type of circumstance. You know, friends with benefits, she chased him, he chased her, like every potential thing she tried, and she even lived with him for a period of time. The funny part though was interesting where she said that, oh, the ex was bad, you can't smash, you don't got no D game, she's essentially alluding to that. But his response, top tier, yo. I won't lie, top tier, yo. Every chick I mess with is better than you. That is something I would say. Yeah, you want to talk ish? What? He didn't even say, oh, I thought you were going to say every chick I mess with, you know what I'm saying, loves it, something wrong with you. Every girl I mess with loves a D, something wrong with you. He said, nah, whatever. He completely just, to the side. You know, he was like, every chick I mess with is badder than you. So here, let's paint the picture. 40-year-old man, 40 plus, dealt with this girl for 3 years, no commitment. She's 21 years old, and I do think she's relatively attractive. Yeah, she might have went through some kind of weight loss journey or some issue like that, but relatively, this girl's attractive. Relative, right? Now, I think the biggest thing to take away, though, more than just how attractive she is or whatever, is that she's 21 and she was head over heels for a dude that was 40 years old. That means she would have dated him. That means, men, if you're over the age of 40 and you got your life together, you could still date a woman in college. You don't have to date a woman your age. A lot of girls say, oh, why can't you date a woman your age? We can, but a lot of them are difficult. A lot of women, 40 plus, I'm telling you, like, and some of them are very attractive, but they're stubborn. They're stubborn, okay? And they're self-sabotaging, and they're conformists. So by the time they're that age, there's no change in them. Unless you like them for the way they are, there's no change in them, right? And a lot of us are not happy with them. I'm going to keep it real with you. A lot of us are not really happy with them, okay? A lot of us are like, whatever, okay? But I think to myself about this all the time, where women, you know, they're so double-minded. And one breath they'll say, "Oh, you're talking to a young girl, that's creepy." And in another breath, they're happy as hell, like this girl, to talk to a guy nearly twice her age. He's 40, she's 21. He's nearly twice her age. I'm in love with a man nearly twice my age. I don't know if you guys are cribbing. If y'all are, y'all know exactly the song I'm talking about. Shout out to Trinidad, Port of Spain. That's where I'm from, TNT, baby. Well, I'm also American too, okay? But I got Caribbean roots. Anyway, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Channel blowing up. I appreciate you guys. Check out some of my other videos, and I'll see you over there.